The anticipation for TRON Ares, the long-awaited threequel to the beloved franchise, has reached new heights as we finally have significant updates regarding the upcoming film. The road to production for the third movie has been anything but smooth since it was abruptly canceled by Disney back in 2015 right before shooting. After years of neglect and uncertainty for the future of the much-anticipated third entry, actor and musician Jared Leto spearheaded attempts to manifest the third film, albeit to a mixed yet generally negative reception to his involvement. Despite recent challenges stemming from the 2023 writers and actors strike, TRON Ares is finally heading to theaters fall of 2025. Details have been scarce other than the knowledge that the current production is working from the original story treatment for the third film that featured the Ares character and the idea of elements from the digital universe entering the physical realm. Those in attendance at D23 were finally given an in-depth look at the film, and in this video I'd like to break down all the news from this event and examine what fans can expect from this much-delayed third TRON entry. Just a quick disclaimer that because the visual media wasn't released to the public, I can't use any images from the event without risking this video being copyright struck, so I'll do my best to describe the visuals without actually showing them. In what must have been a treat for many fans in the audience, Jeff Bridges, who played Kevin Flynn and Clue in the first two TRON installments, and who will be making his return for Ares, was there among members of the new cast to introduce the first trailer for the film. Bridges confirmed his role in the film was small and marveled at how long the legacy of TRON has endured through the decades. He later introduced Evan Peters, Greta Lee, and Jared Leto, who emerged in front of a red light cycle as he took to the stage. Before the trailer was revealed, the actors shared more information regarding their characters. Lee's role has already been confirmed as that of a tech CEO and video game designer who is hell-bent on protecting her technology. At the event, Lee said that her character, named Eve Kim, is a brilliant programmer whose greatest work provides a path for Ares to come into our world. Before this event, Evan Peters' role was undisclosed, with rumors speculating that he would be the villain. It seems those rumors were well-founded, as Peters confirmed his role to be that of Julian Dillinger, with the actor teasing the sinister legacy behind the Dillinger name, which doesn't always mean great things for those on the grid. There were no other details given as to how exactly Julian relates to the infamous Edward Dillinger, played by David Warner in the original film, or his son, played by Cillian Murphy in a brief appearance in TRON Legacy. Next, Jared Leto, the title character Ares, teased more substantive details about his role, saying he plays Ares, Master Control on the Dillinger Grid, a program who is looking for a way to make the real world his own, permanently. The trailer that was shown at D23 begins with Evan Peters, Julian Dillinger, delivering a speech in TED Talk fashion, saying, "Since time began, man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone? Well, it turns out that we've been looking in the wrong direction, because intelligent life does exist, only it's not out there, it's in here. So much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what do they look like? When will we get there? Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here." The scene definitely harkens back to Kevin Flynn's speech in the beginning of TRON Legacy, where he says, "In there is another world. In there is our future. In there is our destiny." But as Dillinger's monologue confirms, they are sticking to the initial premise for the third film, originally titled TRON Ascension, and so Ares promises to be an inversion of what came before, with digital lifeforms coming to our world. It seems as though Dillinger may have stolen Eve Kim's technology in order to move forward with his master control program Ares to enter the real world. This would be in keeping with his family's legacy of profiting off of other people's ideas. There were also shots of snow-covered mountains, a glowing orange digital tree, and plenty of light cycle action as they speed across the city streets with the trailing jet wall in their wake splicing through cars. Leto's character, Ares, clad in red, is seen entering the real world, marveling at the rain, and narrating, "There's something at work inside my soul I do not understand. I came to find something important, permanence." Gillian Anderson also made a surprise appearance. The actress from X-Files was shown briefly with no dialogue or any other context as to her mystery character's role. The trailer concludes with a shot of an elderly Kevin Flynn adorned in white robes with white hair and beard and a lighted symbol on his chest, indicating that he has returned as some sort of digital entity. His environment is also colored a light purple, an indicator that he may be on a different grid. I can't deny how much this invokes a Gandalf the White vibe, returning in such a state and notably with no apparent de-aging. It has been 14 years since Tron Legacy premiered, so I'm surprised that a digital representation of Kevin Flynn wouldn't look more closely to how he appeared in the previous film. The fact that he has the appearance of natural aging makes me wonder if this is truly the consciousness of Kevin Flynn within this digital form, and this would be how he perceives himself with the passage of time. The presentation also included the reveal of the music composer for the film. The music choice was always a huge hurdle for this project to overcome in the wake of the bar set by Daft Punk's legendary soundtrack for Legacy. Following the news of Daft Punk's split, the music choice for Ares has been a major point of concern and anticipation for fans as to who could possibly fill their shoes for the next film score. Now we know. In an epic red-themed laser light show, the logo for the industrial hard rock band 9 Inch Nails was revealed. The band is headlined by Trent Reznor, who pivoted to composing film scores when he paired up with Atticus Ross in 2010 for David Fincher's The Social Network, for which they won an Academy Award for Best Original Score. The pair continued their collaboration to much success as they scored numerous projects across film and television. Considering their impressive track record at composing standout film scores across so many different kinds of projects, I'm personally really excited to hear what they come up with for this next Tron installment. Music has become an integral part of why fans love the Tron universe, especially since Tron Legacy. Like many great film scores, the music in Tron is essentially a character in its own right and plays a crucial role in setting the tone and atmosphere of the films. In regards to what we can glean from the footage itself, the trailer definitely gives the impression that Dillinger's power-hungry red-colored grid has taken on a life of its own and is invading the human world. The fact that Leto confirmed that Ares is the master control program of the Dillinger grid, we can expect for Ares to be driven by the same programming as the original MCP, who hacked into and assimilated any and all programs it considered useful. Now, in this new version, with the God of War Ares as its name, the MCP is looking to take a more direct approach to dominating humanity, to make our world his own, permanently. Considering a Dillinger is so heavily involved in the story, I very much anticipate the return of another Flynn. This could possibly end up being Cameron Monaghan, whose character remains a mystery. So far, we've primarily seen Dillinger's grid. My hope is that this film could end up featuring multiple grids and build towards a potentially satisfying return of the legendary security program, TRON. Tron's story in the sequel Legacy is one of sacrifice, tragedy, and triumph, who spends the majority of his time in the story under Clue's reprogramming as Rinsler, a servant to his will. Tron's fate was left a mystery as he disappeared into the sea of simulation after successfully overriding Clue's corruption and reverting to his original programming. The third installment seems to be paving the way for Tron's triumphant return, as it seems like a no-brainer for the protagonist to bring the heroic security program back to fight for the users, to save the grid and humanity itself. Considering the confirmed return of Kevin Flynn, I have to wonder whether this version of the character will prove critical in their efforts to recover and deploy the lost Tron program. A notable aspect of Ares is the involvement of the writer and director of the original Tron film, Steven Lisberger. Given this, I think it would make a lot of sense to have his input when crafting a plot that leads up to the return of Tron as he was originally portrayed. For the first time since this project was announced, I'm finally starting to feel a definite sense of optimism. While Disney hasn't offered much that excites me lately, the recent reveals for Tron Ares have provided some genuinely promising news. The footage looks impressive, and the involvement of 9 Inch Nails is a definite win for the film's soundtrack. I'm hopeful that the movie is setting the stage for the triumphant return of Tron himself. It would be a huge disappointment and deal-breaker for most if the iconic character at the heart of the franchise were left out, but I find it hard to imagine they wouldn't include him in some way. But I'm curious to know what you think about all the new information from D23 about Tron Ares. Do you have any theories about how Kevin Flynn and Tron might factor into this new story? Are you more excited or hopeful in light of this new information, or still concerned for the production? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Tron and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive content and perks. Thank you all so much for your support. And as always, have a very nerdy day.